In the picturesque town of Moundsville, nestled among the rolling hills of West Virginia, the morning sun cast a warm glow over the quiet streets. Officer Anthony, the newest recruit to the police force, sat behind the wheel of his patrol car, eager to prove himself and protect the peace. As he cruised through the streets, Anthony couldn't help but notice an unusual sight: trash cans overturned, garbage strewn across the sidewalks, and a trail of destruction leading through the heart of town. It was clear that mischief was afoot, and Anthony was determined to get to the bottom of it. Pulling over to the side of the road, Anthony approached the first victim, a frazzled homeowner standing on the curb, her hands on her hips as she surveyed the mess left behind by the vandals. "Morning, ma'am. I'm Officer Anthony. Mind if I ask you a few questions?" Anthony said, flashing her a reassuring smile. The homeowner sighed, relief washing over her face at the sight of the young officer. "Oh, officer, I'm so glad you're here. It's just awful what happened. I woke up this morning to find my trash can knocked over and garbage everywhere." Anthony nodded sympathetically, jotting down notes in his notebook as the homeowner recounted her ordeal. "Did you see anything suspicious last night? Any strange noises or unusual activity?" The homeowner shook her head. "No, nothing like that. It was quiet all night until this morning when I heard the crash of my trash can tipping over." With a nod of understanding, Anthony bid the homeowner farewell and continued his patrol, determined to gather more clues. It wasn't long before he came across another victim, a young couple standing on their front porch, their faces a mix of frustration and confusion as they surveyed the mess left behind by the vandals. Approaching the couple, Anthony introduced himself and began asking questions, his mind racing as he tried to piece together the puzzle. It seemed that the vandalism had occurred in a straight line through the town, with each incident leading to the next. As he continued his patrol, Anthony couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't adding up. There was no sign of forced entry or theft, just a trail of overturned trash cans and garbage strewn across the streets. As Anthony continued his investigation on foot, he rounded the corner of a small shed, only to be startled by the sudden appearance of a large black cow and a brown mule giving chase. They came charging around the bend, their hooves clattering on the pavement as they dashed past him, leaving Anthony momentarily stunned. Quickly regaining his composure, Anthony sprinted back to his patrol car, the image of the escaping animals etched in his mind. Jumping into the driver's seat, he revved the engine and peeled out onto the road, determined to catch the elusive culprits. As he raced through the streets of town, Anthony radioed for backup, his voice urgent as he relayed the situation to his fellow officers. The cow and mule had split up, each heading in a different direction, and Anthony knew he couldn't handle the situation alone. After a tense chase through the winding streets, Anthony caught sight of the cow disappearing into a nearby farm. With a surge of adrenaline, he followed, skidding to a halt in front of the farmhouse. Breathless and eager to apprehend the runaway cow, Anthony approached the farmer, his words tumbling out in a rush as he explained the situation. "Do you have cows? Because one just ran onto your property and I need to catch it before it causes any more trouble." The farmer nodded, a puzzled expression crossing his face. "Yes, I do have cows." As they spoke, the mule appeared, trotting up to join them, and Anthony couldn't help but feel a sense of bewilderment at the unexpected turn of events. "Whose mule is that?" the farmer asked, eyeing the animal with surprise. Anthony blinked in a stupor, assuming the mule belonged to the same owner as the cow, since they had both made a beeline for the farm. "I thought it was yours, since they both came running here," he replied, his brow furrowed in confusion. With a shrug, the farmer led Anthony to where the cow was grazing, his expression one of mild bemusement. "Well, I don't know where they came from, but they certainly seem to have made themselves at home, and that cow isn't mine either." Anthony surveyed the scene before him. While he may have solved the mystery of the overturned trash cans and managed to track down the culprits and prevent any further mischief, now he had to figure out where the two wayward animals had come from, a task that would require a bit more detective work.